So nobody taught us to ask questions. Why? I'll tell you why. It's because human beings are designed to ask questions. We are born to ask questions. And since successful salespeople ask a lot of questions, you could say that we, the human race, are born to sell. Questions are vital for selling, and they are vital for us to understand our world, our environment, the people we interact with, our very existence. Every single major human innovation in history has come about because somebody somewhere asked a question like this. How do we do this? Or how can we do this better? Or how can we stop this from happening? Or why can't we try this instead of that? If we didn't ask questions, we wouldn't even have invented the wheel. Because the wheel was invented across the planet in different times because people were trying to move large stone blocks from A to B. The question why is extensively used by toddlers as they try and understand the world about them. It's the reason that we are human and not animal, because a dog could say, "Can I go for a walk?" because he'll look at you and beg, or "Can I have that chocolate?" by looking at you through body language. And enculturated apes can answer up to 300 to 400 questions now, they've shown in lab studies. But only humans say why. I have a dog and he asks me questions like, "Can we go for a walk?" Obviously not verbally. And if I say no, he'll just say, "Well, can we go for a walk?" He'll keep asking the question. He won't go, "Well, why can't I go for a walk?" I think that's one of the reasons we love them so much, because if they did ask why, they'd be like the kids. I kid, of course. So questions are vital for us to communicate, and why is an extremely important one for us to use. However, society conditions us not to ask why. Our parents start this because, faced with a child always asking the question why, they lose control and tell the child to stop asking so many stupid questions. The child, cowed by the fact that the parent is possibly 2 or 3 times their size and also responsible for their existence, learns quickly to stop asking so many questions. The parent follows up this destructive social conditioning by letting the child know in no uncertain terms that the child can earn praise by answering their parents' questions and avoid conflict by not asking any questions. The parent simply does not understand how questions work. Otherwise, they would handle things differently. If they knew what you are about to find out, they would not act in this manner. But let's not be too harsh on our parents, because where did they learn this from? Exactly, their parents. Eventually, the child gets to school. Schools, which are centres of learning, only encourage certain questions. For example, imagine what happens if a child asks, "Sir, why are we learning about Henry VIII?" It doesn't take too much imagination to see what happens to this precocious child. The teacher will not allow why questions such as this, and will be the one asking the majority of the questions. At school, this precocious child learns that too many questions can label you as cheeky or difficult or a problem child. Add to this fact that every time you answer a question, you are rewarded by a well done or other such positive affirmations by teachers and parents, and you can see that further indoctrination into the cult of answering questions and not asking them continues. And just so you know, that precocious child was me, permanently in trouble at school because I was always asking for context of what was being taught. In fact, your whole idea of being successful at school is based upon the premise that if you answer all the questions in exams, you will be rewarded with qualifications. Qualifications lead to good jobs. Good jobs lead to a good partner, a nice car, happy children, a good house, a blessed life, etc. This may be true. However, it's not true if you want to be a successful salesperson. You know, if we go back to that precious child who leaves school and university with a clutch of qualifications and they try and get a job, what happens? They have to go to a job interview. And what do you think they need to do to pass the job interview? That's right, answer questions. They might choose not to have a job. They might choose to join the army instead. And in the army, you undergo several weeks of intensive basic training that ensures that you will follow orders and never ask a question again. Consider this snippet from the very famous poem, The Charge of the Light Brigade. Theirs is not to question why, theirs is but to do and die.